Hi, this is Zoe Tant, the Tantalising Stamper, and today I'm joining the Totally Techniques blog hop, and we're sharing different ideas of how to do the ghost stamping technique. It's a new one to me, and so it might be new to you, but it's actually really simple, and I've enjoyed playing about with it. But this is the one that I'm going to show you for today, and there'll be others on my blog of examples that you can have a look at. So what you need is probably something like a background stamp. I've got the sketch plaid here, and you'll also need some solid stamps to stamp to do your secondary stamping. So I'm going to start off with this sketch plaid, and I'm going to use some white pigment ink. So it's the Stampin' Up white craft ink. I'm going to ink it all up. Make sure it's nice and inky. And you can see I've put the stamp onto my glass block because that's just holding it. And then it makes it easy for me to put a piece of card on where I want it. So we'll try and get one bit at the top. And then I've got a piece of scrap somewhere behind me that I'm just going to put over so I don't get too much ink. Although you can see I've been playing. Rub that all over. And then we're going to peel that off gently. And you can just about see that it's left the image, but I'm not actually going to emboss it or do anything like that. I'm just going to put that to one side and let it dry while I move this out of the way. I'm going to bring in another stamp called the Leaf Collection. Now this just happens to be a background stamp. You don't have to use one, but a solid stamp, and I don't have very many, so this one has worked out quite well. First of all, I'm going to ink this with Azure Afternoon, and I'm going to ink all over it because that's my lighter colour. And this seems to work best, that's a bit bubbly, with darker colours. So that's why I've gone for the Azure Afternoon, and I'm now using Misty Moonlight to add some more ink to make some of these elements darker. So I'm just using a dauber so that I can get it where I want it. We'll just move it around onto some of them so we get a bit of different light and dark going on. And we'll see what it comes out like. I've already done one in green. So we'll see what this one comes out like. I'm going to do the whole thing, although I will be cutting my piece of card down once I've stamped it. Let's do that one as well. I'm not sure if it's gonna, how well this will change the colours, but we'll see. It should add a little bit of dimension. And then maybe we'll just do a bit of, not the whole leaf, just a little bit. Maybe a little bit on these as well. If nothing else, it might take down the bubbliness of the ink. So I'll put that to one side now. Bring back my piece with the white craft ink on, where you can see the grid that I've used. And again, I'm going to just pop that as near to the top, preferably without moving it too much. Then get my scratch paper back, put that over the top. And rub so I get all the ink on. Oh, and now we'll see how well it has worked. Oh, wow. Yeah. So you can still see the grid, but you can begin to see it on the leaves. And it acts as a basic emboss well, not emboss because it's just ink. It's an ink emboss rather than a heat powdered emboss resist. So it's very subtle, but it does just create it. In fact, this has actually worked better than the green that I did earlier, which when I put my hands on it, I will show you. So I'll move that out of the way. I think we'll just have a quick wipe there so we don't get that ink anywhere. And then close that one up. And then I've got the Deckled edge rectangles because our card doesn't quite match the sizing. So if I put that on, that would work quite nicely as one piece. I could put that straight onto a card, but I'm actually going to do this. Let's choose where we're going to go, because I'm then going to cut a piece of Azure Afternoon that I think will make it look quite nice underneath. So if we just position that, get some of the different leaves on it, and I'll cut that, and I'll also cut this, and then I'm also going to cut with one of the smaller Deckled rectangles a piece for my sentiment. Now, quite often people like to stamp first, this one in fact, but I think I'm just going to cut it. So I'll be back in a moment when I've done that. So here's all my pieces. There's my piece for my sentiment. Put these away safe. That's going to be a matting layer. And I've then cut this piece that I'm just making it really simple. And I'm going to pop that on there. My sentiment will come in like this. So I'm then using the My Small Business, which would be great, is great for demonstrators, but also would be a great stamp set for any of your friends who run their own little businesses, and they can either make cards or you could offer to make them for them. But I've got this thank you stamp, and I'm going to, I think I'm going to use the darker colour stamp. This just fits on there perfectly. You can tell because it's a blue Peter moment when I did one earlier. And then I've got a white card base, so we can put all this together. Just get on my glue. I think I'll stick this. This is just wet glue. Put that on the bottom. Put that there. And then the next piece, I think I'll use some dimensionals just to lift it a bit, add a bit of dimension. Got that off. Oh, fluffed that one. Let's put these on and then use that the hook to get the backings off. So this is a really neat tool. I love it. And we'll pop that there. Do we want it up that way or that way? That? Oh, somehow that looks more fitting. And then we've got the thank you. So I'm going to pop that here, I think, so that I get the different shades. So if I put a sticky pad on the end there, and then I can put a little bit of glue on the other end to hold it on. So if we just pop just a splotch there, I can then put this on here like so, and there we are. So that's it. How easy is that? And you can just see the really subtle plaid design in the background. It just adds a little bit of dimension, but it makes a really quick and easy card. What I did find is that I experimented with leaving these to dry. So if I just show you some others that I made, this is one with snowflakes, and I used a snowflake background stamp, and you can just see that where I've stamped the snowflakes here, you can just see the little white snowflake coming through, because it's done that resist. And then obviously can't have snowflakes without a little bit of wink of Stella and sparkle. and it makes a really nice card. I've just used 2 shades of pink. I've got Pretty in Pink and Bubble Bath Pink, and it's really nice. A little bit of gold, and then, as I said, lots of Wink of Stella and some shredded ribbon. Okay, so that's that one. And then I also used the snowflakes on this one, and this was one that I stamped the snowflake design with the white craft ink, pigment ink, and then just left it for a little while so it dried, and it shows particularly well on these stars. And again, I think it's the darker colour, but you can see the spots and the snowflakes coming through on the greens. So it's really pretty. It's certainly a different effect to add dimension to cards. You would think ghost stamping, Halloween is coming, but sadly I don't have any Halloween stamps at the moment. So I'm afraid I've gone for Christmas and leaves. So here's the green one. As you can see, the plaid pattern does shine through as well. Possibly not as well as it does on the slightly darker blues. But it makes a really simple card, and obviously on this one I cut a smaller piece here. This was a larger piece, but you could do whatever you wanted to. It's really simple, and you could add die cut flowers, anything you wanted to really. So that's it, quick and easy without question. And if you're looking for a demonstrator and you're living in the UK, please do look out for me if you don't have one. And take a look at my blog, stampingscene.blogspot.com. And also don't forget to go around everyone else in the blog hop this month and have a look at their ideas of ghost stamping. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.